Hello and welcome to Language Monk and his Random Thoughts. Talking of personal pronouns. Different personal pronouns. The first person I, the second person you, and the third person's he, she, they, and it. In the first person we also have we, which we haven't discussed so far. So we are going to discuss we today. We discussed I, we discussed he and she, we discussed you. So let's take up the case of we, which is also the first person. So what are the different forms of we? We, ours, our, and ourselves. Now when I say ourselves, something which I didn't discuss was the reflexive pronoun of you. I have to say it now, because the reflexive pronoun of you, actually you have two, yourself and yourselves. When I'm talking to you as a person, as one person, I can say you can do it yourself. It is S-E-L-F. But when you are more than one, you are a crowd, or you are two or more, then I have to say you can do it yourselves, not yourself, yourselves. But in the case of we is always plural, so there is no ourself, it's only ourselves. Remember that. Now we'll come to the different ways of using these we, ours, our, and ourselves. There are 4 different types. And of course, us, that's also there, I missed it. We, us, ours, our, and ourselves. So, let's see how these sentences can be used. First one is, as usual, the subject, we as a subject. So a few sentences, simple ones. We are very hardworking. Will we be going to work tomorrow? You know, all these lockdowns and hartals, so everybody is anxious. So someone is asking in a crowd, are we going to work tomorrow? Will we be going to work tomorrow? Can we meet our new boss? നമ്മുടെ പുതിയ മേലുദ്യോഗസ്ഥനെ കാണാൻ പറ്റുമോ? We are shocked to hear the news. ഒരു വളരെ മോശമായ ന്യൂസ് കേട്ടപ്പോൾ പറയുന്നതാണ്. We are shocked to hear the news. We can surely pass this test easily. You're going to a car driving test to get your license. So you meet different people, all have come for the test. So you are discussing with them. We can say, we can pass this test easily, can't we? Or we can surely pass this test easily. So these are a few sentences with we as subject. Now let's go to the object. We as an object. So what is the shift of we from we to us? We becomes us as the object. Did you not tell us to go slow? He was looking at us for a long time. എന്തിനാണ് അയാളിങ്ങനെ നമ്മളെങ്ങനെ തുറച്ചു നോക്കിക്കൊണ്ടിരുന്നത്? He was looking at us for a long time. So ഒരു പുതിയ കമ്പനിയിൽ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്തു, ആൻഡ് എല്ലാവരെയും നിങ്ങളെ കുറച്ച് പേരെ ക്വാളിറ്റി ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെൻറ്റിലേക്ക് അസൈൻ ചെയ്തു. സോ when someone asks you എവിടെയാണ് ചോദിച്ചാൽ, what do you say? The company has appointed us in the quality department. The company has appointed us in the quality department. This news, some bad news, this news has shocked all of us. She will tell us what to do. You have been appointed in the quality department. The boss is a lady, so we are telling others, she will tell us what to do. Again, as object. Now let's go to the pronoun part. We as a pronoun. Ours, our and ourselves. These are the three different pronouns. So let's get into the different sentences using the three pronouns. First one is ours, which is an independent possessive pronoun. So let's look at a few sentences. Is this phone ours? A phone which belongs to a family. So one of the members of the family, ആ കുടുംബത്തിലത്തെ ഒരാൾ പറയാണ്, is this phone ours? ഇത് നമ്മുടേതാണോ? Number 26 is their room. The next one is ours. 26 അവരുടെ റൂമാണ്, അടുത്തത് നമ്മുടേതാണ്. The next one is ours. This phone of ours needs replacement. This phone of ours needs replacement. ഇത് മാറാൻ അത്യാവശ്യമായിരിക്കുന്നു, സമയമായിരിക്കുന്നു. ഈ ഫോൺ കേടുവരാറായി, അത് മാറ്റണം. She met an old friend of ours recently. അടുത്ത കാലത്തായിട്ട് അവർ നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ക്ലോസ് ഫ്രണ്ടിനെ കണ്ടുമുട്ടി. She met an old friend of ours recently. Their house is not comparable to ours. എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അവരുടെ വീടും നമ്മുടെ വീടും തമ്മിൽ താരതമ്യപ്പെടുത്താൻ പറ്റില്ല. ആക്ച്വലി ഫുൾ പറയാൽ their house is not comparable to our house. അത് ours ആയി. Their house is not comparable to ours. Their hair is very thin. Ours is much thicker. സാധാരണ ഈ വെസ്റ്റേണേഴ്സിൻ്റെ ഒക്കെ വളരെ തിൻ ഹെയർ ആയിരിക്കും, സ്ട്രെയിറ്റ് ആൻഡ് തിൻ. നമ്മളുടെ ഇന്ത്യൻസിൻ്റെ പൊതുവെ മുടി കട്ടി കൂടിയതാണ്. സോ യു കെൻ സേ വെൻ യു മീറ്റ് സം വെസ്റ്റേണേഴ്സ് യു കെൻ ഓൾവേസ് സേ their hair is very thin, ours is much thicker. So those are the sample sentences for independent possessive pronouns. Now let's go to the possessive pronouns, which is our. The other one, the previous one was ours, now it's our. Is this our land? Is this our country? Is this our state? Our house is much bigger than his. Our house is much bigger than his. They met our parents last night at the theatre. They met our parents last night at the theatre. തിയേറ്ററിൽ വെച്ച് ഇന്നലെ രാത്രി അവർ നമ്മുടെ രക്ഷിതാക്കളെ കണ്ടു. Incidentally, just observe this. They met our parents last night at the theatre, not yesterday night. So don't use the word yesterday night, it's wrong. Use last night. They met our parents last night at the theatre. അങ്ങനത്തെ കുറേ യൂസുകൾ ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ പ്രീവിയസ് ഒരു വീഡിയോയിൽ ഇട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. ലാസ്റ്റ് നൈറ്റ്, ദിസ് മോർണിംഗ്, ദിസ് ആഫ്റ്റർനൂൺ, ദിസ് ഈവനിങ്, ടു നൈറ്റ്, ടുഡേ നൈറ്റ് എന്ന് പറയില്ല, ടു നൈറ്റ്, ടുഡേ മോർണിംഗ് എന്ന് പറയില്ല, ദിസ് മോർണിംഗ്, ലാസ്റ്റ് നൈറ്റ്. I have put a separate video for that. You can look at that. Our education has helped us to climb the ladder of success. Our education has helped us to climb the ladder of education. Again, pronunciation of climb, B is silent. It's not climb, climb. I put it again in one of my previous videos. Now we'll go to the reflexive pronouns. We can surely do it ourselves. Ourselves. So far we have been using myself, yourself, himself, herself. Yourself, it's also yourselves. I said at the beginning of this episode, if there are more than one, in you, it becomes yourselves. But in ourselves, it's always ourselves. There is no ourself, it's ourselves. L-V-E-S. So we can surely do it ourselves. We should take a look at ourselves in the mirror once in a while. നമ്മൾ ഇടയ്ക്കൊന്ന് കണ്ണാടിയിൽ നോക്കണം, നമ്മുടെ കോലം നോക്കണം, അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ. We made ourselves comfortable by stepping out of the hall and taking in a breath of fresh air. We made ourselves comfortable by stepping out of the room and taking in a breath of fresh air. നല്ല ചൂടുള്ള ഒരു ഹാളിൽ നിന്ന് പുറത്ത് പോയി ഒരു ശ്വാസം, നല്ല ഫ്രഷ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ശ്വാസം, ഫ്രഷ് എയർ ശ്വാസം എടുത്തു. ആൻഡ് വി മെയ്ഡ് അവർ സെൽസ് കംഫർട്ടബിൾ. അതാണ് പറയുന്നത്. We must take care of ourselves. We must take care of ourselves, especially during these COVID times. പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഈ കോവിഡ് ടൈംസിൽ നമ്മൾ നമ്മുടെ ആരോഗ്യം സംരക്ഷിക്കണം. അത് നമ്മൾ തന്നെ ചെയ്യേണ്ടതാണ്. സോ വി മസ്റ്റ് ഡു ഇറ്റ് ourselves. We traveled all over the world ourselves since there was no one joining us. We traveled all over the world by ourselves since no one was willing to join us. ഒരു കപ്പിൾ, ഹസ്ബൻഡ് ആൻഡ് വൈഫ് പറയാണ്, അവർ മാത്രം ലോകം മുഴുവൻ കറങ്ങി. കാരണം അവരുടെ ഒപ്പം ജോയിൻ ചെയ്ത് പോകാൻ വേറെ ആരും ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വേറെ ആരെയും കിട്ടിയില്ല. സോ വി ട്രാവൽഡ് ഓൾ ഓവർ ദ വേൾഡ് ബൈ ourselves since no one was willing to join us. So we have gone through the 5 different forms of we. Now we have got they and it, which we'll be taking up in the next 2 episodes. So for this episode, we've gone through the entire gambit of different forms of we. So till next time, as usual, don't forget to wear your mask, wash your hands frequently with soap, keep a safe social distance, stay fit, stay healthy, and keep a smile all the time. Bye.